evening. Welcome to the Tammy Talk Show, where I'm your host, Tamara Stewart. So it's so good to see you all joining in with us on today. We're going to give you all a few minutes for my friends and those who want to listen to our topic on today. We're going to give you all a few minutes to come in, and so we can speak to you all and tell you hello. I have my guests at the table. I have my family sitting here, and we're going to talk about the coronavirus, facts versus fiction. But we're going to wait a few minutes so people come in, and we got a good topic tonight, and we want you all to share in with us and let us know whether you enjoy it. I want you all to share it, so that people could come in on the conversation. I thank you all for coming in. We're going to wait a few more minutes for more people to come in. I want to thank you in advance for joining in to listen to the show, to talk with us while we do this discussion on tonight. And I hope you enjoy it. I'm sure you will enjoy it because we're going to talk about some good things on tonight. And, you know, with the coronavirus, you know, going up in certain parts of the country, I know here in Georgia, the numbers are going back up. And we need to know how to handle the things. We want to know what you think about what's going on and how you feel about it. And, you know, I'm going to let my family share the information that they got and the things, the concerns that they have on this coronavirus. But I want and hope that everybody be safe out there, that you take care of yourself, that you look out for your family, and even if you have to go back to work, always be careful. And I would stress to anybody, just wear your mask. You know, while wearing the mask, and you may feel like it's not protecting you, but if it's not harming you, keep it on. Keep it on, wear your mask, because even if you're not wearing it, things could happen. So just better to be safe with what you're doing and how you're protecting yourself. You know, I wear mine all the time when I go out there. I throw this hair back and slap my mask on because I want to be protected. And I want my friends and family and everyone to be protected. You have loved ones in your life, you don't want anything to happen to them, especially when they come back to it and say that you gave it to them, and you know you don't want to have to deal with the heartbreak of if I had done this, if I shouldn't have done that, and we don't want all those regrets. But still, there are some things out there that I feel that are, some are facts and some are fiction out there. So we need to know what is the right thing that is going on with this virus. You know, we listen to the news. We know the news give us the information that they're getting, but maybe we need to do our research and look into it and see what's going on really with this virus and even where it come from. You know, it just came out of nowhere, and as someone keeps saying, it's going to go into nowhere, but it's taking a lot of lives while it's going back to wherever, if it ever get to nowhere. But we don't want to just be here and not knowing what's going on, right, family?
Right.
So we're here today to share with you. And I thank you all for joining. I'm going to wait a few more minutes. I see we got a good number of people right now that has tuned in. So I'm going to start out with even talking about a question that I have for everybody that's listening, and to my family around the table. I have a question that I want to ask everybody. How safe are we with this coronavirus out here? And how safe do you feel when you go out and when you're among other people? How safe do you feel? Do you think if you get close to someone, not knowing whether they have it or not, but if they do, if you get too close, are you afraid you're going to catch it, or it's going to take it home to a family member? Could one of you all around here, one of my kids or the husband, share that with me?
Well, I feel like I'm able to go to like Walmart with my mask on and like feel comfortable or feel safe or feel protected. But my concerns really lie in me picking up items or picking up stuff, and like not getting a chance to wash my hands before I touch my face accidentally. Like I have a habit of picking my lips sometimes, so like I like chip away at it most of the time. But I gotta be careful now, and I can't do it because my mask is actually in the way.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps with that habit. But other habits like me rubbing my eye, like I have to consciously think about not doing that because I don't want to get infected and like you know, increase the chance that somebody close to me would be able to get it from me.
Yeah, yeah. Anybody else on the table? Come on.
Yes, I feel like I am a new germaphobe. Everything has germs now. I feel in my head. And, in the beginning, when it first came out, I felt like I stepped outside. I got it because I just felt like I was germs all around me. Like I said, I'm a germaphobe.
Yes.
But once I started looking at it and they breaking it down some more, I kind of got more comfortable. With going out different places, but I still feel like I'm a germaphobe. Some stuff I don't touch, and some stuff I touch, I'd be scared to, I'd be looking at it. Cause I was always cautious, but I'm overly cautious now because of that. So yeah, that's why I'm a germaphobe.
Yeah, they do plant fear in you because it's the fear of the unknown. One time on the news they'll tell us it'll do one thing to you, the next time it won't do it, and then the next time they say this could happen if that happened. So it do plant a little fear in you. Anybody else?
I see a lot of people are really carefree about it. Like a lot of people don't care to me. So when I'm going out to stores, there's so many people that don't have a mask on versus the ones that do. So it makes it seem like it's not real. Because a lot of people don't wear the mask still. So I'll go in the store and I'm looking like, okay, it's more people without a mask than it is with it on.
Yeah.
So it makes it seem like people just don't care. If it's not happening to me, I don't care.
Right.
If it doesn't bother me, then I don't care. So it's a lot of carefree people out here right now.
Okay, well, do you think that a lot of people are thinking it's not real, it's something fake that the United States have come up with, or is a fact of something that's happening?
I feel like our lack of leadership, or lack of a supportive role as a leader, he's not stressing how serious this could be for people or how serious this can be for families. Like, we know somebody who had coronavirus and survived. So, I mean, like, to us, we know that this is real.
Right.
But to other people who may be an avid supporter of who he is, how he feels about certain things and other people, whenever he says something, it's gold to them. So if he's basically not stressing it or making it seem like it's not as serious, or making comments like if there's less of testing going on, there's going to be less cases, which is common sense, of course. But people who can't really think for themselves are going to think, well, maybe it's not as serious as they're talking about, and it might not be as bad, or it might not even exist. It might just be, the government talking about it. And because he's the president, he has to talk about it some kind of way.
Yeah.
But it's kind of scary to think that, the people who can't really think for themselves aren't thinking for everybody else too. Like, if you think for yourself and think, okay, let me put my mask on just to protect myself, you're being thoughtful for your family members as well as other people around you. Because if you keep your mask on, it lowers the chances you can get infected from somebody else.
Right.
So you not getting infected makes it easier for you to go home, be with your family still, and have a normal life. If you go out without your mask on, or if you go out and not be careful about what you do and being clean, when you get sick and come back home and give it to somebody else, that's on you. And you have to, like my mom was saying earlier, you have to deal with that now. You have to deal with the repercussions of that. What if I didn't? What if I did? Or I should have did this, or I should have did that. To kind of avoid that, just wear the mask. And it's kind of scary that a lack of leadership is not helping us, like, stress this, how important it is.
Right, on how important it is. What do you think, husband?
What I think is, okay, I'm going to be the bad guy tonight. So what I need all of y'all to do is make your comments in the bottom while we here live.
Yes.
I want to know what y'all think. We're going to talk about this thing.
Right.
So I'm going to be the bad guy. Okay? So, one, you all let me know. Do you think this whole corona thing is as serious and as real as they say it is? Now listen. Don't get me wrong. Before I get started, I don't want y'all to think that I think it's not real at all. Because again, we personally have had an intimate situation with people we love who have had coronavirus.
Right.
So I'm not saying that there is no coronavirus.
Right.
What I want to talk about is it 5G? How many of y'all out there heard of 5G? Make your comments. Put it down. We're going to get this thing popping tonight. 'Cause they all talking nice and proper, prim, and that's wonderful. But we're going to have a talk tonight. Okay? So 5G, I want to know what you think about 5G. If you don't know about 5G, we'll try to explain a little bit of it. Here's the other thing. This is what kills me. So how come everybody has to social distance, but yet we go in the store every day, like my daughter was saying, there's people all over the store. How about I worked in 2 different grocery stores since I've been down here? I go in those stores on a regular basis. All the employees and people I know, none of them have had corona. Somebody help me. There's millions of people going in and out of these stores, but none of the staff has had corona? Come on. Somebody, come on. I want to see your comments.
Yes.
Comment. I want to know what y'all got to say about it, how y'all feel about it. It's time out for listen, I'm going to say it like this is. We know Trump is doing what Trump do. Forget that. Because you're not gonna survive or get anything that you need to get from Trump and the government. Let's put it where it's at. That's a bunch of crap, and y'all know it. All right? So you got to be able to take care of yourself and protect yourself. Now, something else on here, I'm not going to give it up this time. I'm going to keep running my mouth because I don't have about enough to listen to all that. I'm tired of corona. If you're tired of corona, comment at the bottom. I'm sick of corona. Okay? So, look. So now, let me say this too. The wife pulled something else up that talked about social distancing. Now, come on. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. But let's take it this way. Social distancing is 6 feet, right? Now, y'all help me because my kids are a lot smarter than I am. Okay? 6 feet from the last I remember is 2 yards or basically a little shorter than 2 meters. Somebody help me. Am I right?
Right.
So how come on this same survey it says, but when you're working out, you can be 1 meter away from the person you're working out with. So somebody help me with that.
Right.
When I work out, I'm huffing and puffing and breathing and sweating. I got a million different liquids going on. I'm tired. I'm spitting stuff out further than 6 feet. But you telling me I only need to be 1 meter away?
1 meter?
But when I'm walking normal and breathing normal with my mask on, I got to be 6 feet? Okay. Come on. I want some comments. I want to see what y'all got to say about it.
Right.
Put your comments in here while we're on here live. We're going to talk about them. We're going to get this thing going. Who out there can't stand corona? Who's sick of corona? I want to know. Y'all put it on there right now. Let's talk about it. Because I'm tired of it. I'm the bad guy. Mama Crawford, please don't be mad at me. I know you going to whoop me. I don't go out with no mask on. Okay, I said it. Now, everybody can jump on the thing and get mad at me. I don't go out without a mask on. Not because I think I'm so holy. Not because this, that, and the other. I'm just sick of it.
Yes.
I'm healthy, thank God. Other people may not be that fortunate, yes, and I know that might sound a little radical, but y'all, those of you that know me, I'm a radical guy. Now, when we go to places we gotta really be congested, I will grab a mask. But for the most part, I'm not doing all that. Why? Because guess what? They say, well, if you wash your hands, well, if you don't get close to nobody, well, if you sanitize, then you don't catch corona. When I go out, I don't touch nobody. I'm not coughing and sneezing. I don't cough and sneeze on accident. Somebody talk to me. I want to see some comments. Come on, somebody. Oh, yeah, okay, I see it.
Come on, Krista.
Tired. Krista says she's tired. Crystal, that's what I'm talking about.
Come on.
I'm sick of it. She's sick of it. Jessica Adams. I am a nurse, and I know that this is very real. Jessica, thank you. Thank you. Hey, Jessica. Hey, the numbers are going up because there is more testing. We got to hear what she got to say. She's a nurse. She's a nurse.
Yes.
All right. More testing. More testing equals more results. Thank you. Trump talking about there's not a lot of tests. There's not a lot of corona cases because he ain't testing nobody. Okay. I think the media has given so much. Yes. Thank you, Jessica.
Yes.
So much misinformation that no one can believe anything they say. I wear my mask at work only. That's my girl, Jessica. That's my girl. That's what I'm talking about. But no, I understand exactly what you're saying. Now, listen, she's a nurse, so I know she's in the thick of it. I know she's, doing Because we actually know her personally.
Right.
We already know that she's doing what needs to be done
Right.
to be safe
Right.
and to make sure that she's, not bringing it home to her
Right.
family
Yes.
and all these things. But she's even saying, she's not wearing a mask when she's doing other things. She
Right.
wears it only at work. I mean, come on, y'all. They got us going crazy. Just like she said, misinformation. I'm going to let y'all chime in a minute,
Yeah.
but I'm on my horse now. I'm going to stay on it for a minute. Right? Say thank you, son. Pat me on the back one more time. Okay. So, right? So here's my other thing that I don't understand with Corona. Okay, we already give us a million different stories. I still want to hear your comments. Somebody
Yes.
comment to me about 5G. We're going to talk about 5G before
Yeah,
we get off
so
this
me
air.
too.
We're going to talk about that.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know, 5G is the new wave frequency for all the new phones and for artificial intelligence and all this wonderful stuff that's about to happen. Okay? So now if you've done any little bit of research, I'm sidebarring for a minute. The Spanish flu and the Hong Kong flu, both of those situations occurred when
Yes.
some type of new radioactive frequency wave transmission throughout the world began or scientists created. So now the new one is 5G. Okay? So all that is acting up now. Somebody talked to me about that. Also, I talked to somebody else that said it's not a virus, it's a bacteria. And Italy has done autopsies and found out that coronavirus causes blood clots. They've been giving their patients 100 milligrams of aspirin and another drug, and they sent 14,000 patients home free from corona. Somebody help me. The same
Yeah.
Same
day.
day now.
Fact
Come on.
or fiction?
Educate
Help
us.
me.
Yes. Yes.
Educate
Jessica,
us.
talk to me.
Okay, Crystal.
What about the false positives? Crystal, Atlanta resident? Okay.
From the Atlanta resident.
From the Atlanta resident, the false positive. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
That
Listen.
young man did.
Hey,
It was somebody
listen.
that said
Go ahead, explain it.
it. Yeah, it was somebody that said they had got tested for the virus, and it was
Then
like
went back and it was negative, right?
I went back. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I've heard about that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of false positives. Jessica, can you chime in on that? I don't know if I don't want to get you in any trouble, right? But can you chime in and help us about false positives and what that's all about? There's too much going on. Now let me explain
Yes,
something to you. I worked for a media station here in Macon for a little while, and let me tell you something. I'm gonna give you the real on the media stuff. The media gives you information, but the media embellishes information. Okay? So let's just keep it real. That's right, for entertainment. So they keep you watching. I know this is the Tammy Talk Show. I know I took over. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm going to
you
get it
talk,
back
you
to
talk,
it.
you
But
talk.
the media embellishes all of this stuff and
Yes.
tries to blow it up. Why? So you can continue to watch it. And I'm not even going to get into, I'm not even going to call it a conspiracy theory, but I'm not going to get into why the media makes sure you watch certain things and don't watch certain things
Right.
so that they can dictate and that they can govern
How
how
you
your
feel.
thought process works
Uh-huh.
so that you can either be in fear or you can go out and buy a million things
Yes.
or you can, I mean, come on.
Be upset,
Only people
get
getting
some
rich
people
right now is what? The grocery stores? Are you kidding me? Somebody help me.
Got this shit.
Come on.
Jessica.
What we got? Okay, Jessica, where you at? Okay. 5G equals a tracking device to keep tabs on, yes! On all people. It is interfering on my private life. I love it.
Hey,
Jessica. Okay,
and
so.
Yes.
And that should branch off into how people in IT or information technology talk about like internet privacy or and those rights and how people can be like the government can infringe upon those if we're not careful, and we need to like we need to talk about that too. We need to be aware about that too. Like if there's any laws that are trying to get passed about the government being able to control what we see on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, what websites we go to and what websites we can't go to, we need to worry about that.
Yes.
Because if that starts happening, that's going to make it a lot easier for them to be able to infringe upon our rights with 5G.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, I see something. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I see something else here from Geisha. Hey, Geisha.
Hey.
What's happening? Man, I see you. Let me rephrase that. Joseph Hatchett. Y'all might not know him as man. I know him as man.
Okay.
Joseph, my brother, what's going on, man? It's good to see you. All right, so listen, Geisha, I feel all of this is a government manufactured disease. I do too. That got out of hand. I don't believe that it's just popped up out of nowhere. Sorry to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I'm tired of all of this. I agree with you on that one.
Amen.
Okay. Jessica, she answered that question for us. You can get false positives with any test as well as false negative. Good point. Thank you, Jessica. This is from our nurse that's on. But there are also tests being performed incorrectly. Bam, that's another thing. Okay, and how about this one too? How about all the doctors when someone dies, they've now been forced to say they've died from corona, even if it isn't corona. Somebody help me. Again, I'm not knocking the medical community. I love my medical community. But it's blowing my mind. Somebody help me with this.
Come on.
Why is it that okay, I know they said the elderly and all that. Yeah. Tell me why all the nursing homes get mass rates of corona within a nursing home, and hardly, and most of the folk can't even go outside. Somebody help me.
Right.
The staff doesn't have it.
Sure, they got
Somebody help me. We've already stopped family members from coming. Okay, here's another one. And Jessica, you know I love you. I'm not bashing the medical thing, but it just bothers me. Okay, so listen to this. I know you can probably agree. Someone in your family passes away. Everybody gets to see that person. God forbid we don't want anyone to pass away.
No.
But everyone gets to see that person except you. Help me understand that. We're stopping loved ones we're stopping people from seeing the loved ones. They have to die alone, unfortunately. This is a horrible thing.
Yes, it is.
But yet all of the staff can be there. The coroner can show up, and God knows how many bodies he's been touching.
Yeah.
He can show up, and he can get the body, and it's okay. Why can't I put on all my PPE because my mother has passed, God forbid, my father, God forbid, a family member? Why can't I put on my PPE and at least go see at least one person?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Somebody help me with this.
Read with Jessica.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, Jessica, thank you. Here's the thing. If you are sympathetic, then stay home. Symptomatic. I'm sorry. Stay at home. Good point. Did y'all catch that?
Right.
If you are symptomatic, and that makes all the sense in the world. If you are prone to this or prone to disease or your immune system is not quite where it should be, then you need to stay home. Listen, I'm not saying be stupid now. We just having a conversation because it's the Tammy Talk Show, and I know if you're like me, everybody's darn tired of corona. So we just talking, we just venting right now, but we don't want. Let me be clear. We don't want to be ignorant or do not smart things when it comes to corona.
That's right.
So very good. If you're symptomatic, stay at home. Good, regardless of any test. Did y'all catch that?
Yes.
Regardless of any test, you want to be safe. Stay at home. You want to be safe. Don't go around other people. All right. Here's a funny thing. I don't know. I just want to crack a joke while I'm here. How about if you're in the house with everybody and you don't go out? Why are you wearing a mask in your house? Hello. Why are you driving in your car by yourself with a mask on? Okay. I just want to make y'all laugh for a minute. All right. We have patients if they have had fever, cough, shortness of breath, or knowingly been exposed to anyone with the virus. Yes. Okay, listen, I'm not downplaying, I'm not a doctor.
Right.
But if you use some decent, practical common sense, then you can stay safe from corona.
Right.
I mean, that's my belief. The other side of it is, I really am, of all the things I've heard, and I'm sure y'all have seen it, I've gotten a million things on Facebook Messenger, on Facebook, on God knows what, the internet, about where all this stuff is coming from. I really believe the end result is this 5G and this high frequency that's tearing us up. Me being a military type person, I know that they can create stuff. They can create stuff to knock you off your feet and you don't even see it coming. So I believe that it's coming from there. Yeah. And it's caused disease in our body. Our body doesn't know how to reject frequencies, so it releases it in the form of virus and disease. I could be wrong.
Wow.
I don't agree with that. Okay, she says I don't agree with that. I have a friend that is a director of a nursing home, and she said she wants to find another job because she said it's like running a prison instead of a nursing home. Wow. Wow.
Oh my God.
Man.
Wow.
That's horrible.
Wow.
We'll be praying for your friend, Jessica.
Yes, yes.
Because I know that's got to be tough on y'all. I tell people all the time, y'all are the real heroes. I understand what it's like being someone who's been in war.
Right.
And I know what a war medical tent looks like. with soldiers who have been shot up, who are injured, who are on their last, line of life.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what you all go through when this thing is going. And so, listen, one thing I can say, I'm going to let somebody else talk. I'm going to calm down for just a minute, but only for a minute. All right? One thing I can say, if you're going to go out and be more exposed, then it's just common sense. The virus is going to spread.
Yes, it is.
You don't need CNN to tell you that.
That's right.
So try your best to do your social distancing. Try your best to just be smart about it while we get through this thing. Because I got a funny feeling this ain't got nothing to do with the virus getting over with. This got to do with the government and their plots and their plans. And maybe I'm going way to the left with this one, but I believe there's there's a cure for every disease out there.
Right.
They likes to make folk disappear, that find diseases and all of that stuff. But hey, who am I? I'm just a guy on the Tammy Talk Show. I need your comments. Comment. We want to hear what you got to say.
And I know my sister, she works at a nursing home. And she's stating how that particular nursing home has a rise of it that's in there now. And she has to go to work every night. She cannot go to work. She has to go. And so she has to be tested often to make sure nothing is wrong with her. So we know that people are walking into this thing. There's something going on.
Yes, something
and
going on.
we trying to pray and hope that it don't get worse. Because she said that it's kind of scary to walk into that environment, but that's her job. And she's an essential worker, so she has to go in there and see about the elderly people. So
shout out to our essential workers.
Yeah, so we're gonna give a shout out to them. I was speaking to a nurse the other day that I know personally. How she was saying also from the beginning of it, that was when it was in New York. They did what they had to do. Their governor shut everything down, and everything is getting better there. She said when she first started working, going to work there, she said with so many people that was dying, one after another, one after another, one after another. She said, but now it's rarely any cases coming in. Rarely any coming in, but our area, we open up so fast, and now the things are going back up. So what can we do to even keep ourselves safe, even though that has opened up? But like you were saying, it has been so hyped up, and everybody is walking in so much fear. And when you everybody want to do the right thing, want this to go away, but it's not going away.
Right.
And so why isn't it going away? So I wrote down some facts and fictions over here too.
Okay.
There's some questions I want to ask you all. Is it a fact or is it fiction? Can a shoe spread the COVID virus? Can it do it?
Can a shoe spread? Comment if you got any information. I mean, they got so many things out now. I don't know what they're saying can or can't spread it. So can your shoes spread COVID-19? In other words, if you get some part of the virus on your shoe and you come home in your house, can it spread COVID-19?
Right.
All right. Any Jessica, if you're still there, can you chime in? She said yes. Jessica said yes. Okay, so there's something else. That's a new one.
See, this is what the CDC states.
Okay, so we got the CDC up on the computer as well.
Go ahead.
The likelihood of COVID-19 being spread on shoes and infecting individuals is very low. As a precautionary measure, particularly in homes where infants and small children crawl or play on floors, consider leaving your shoes at the entrance of the home. This will help prevent contact with dirt or any waste that could be carried on the side of your shoes. So, facts. Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah.
It is a surface, especially if it is damp.
Yep.
Okay,
Wow.
catch that. How many of you go outside in the morning and you get your shoes wet because you walk on the grass? The dew is on the grass and your shoes are wet. So guess what? Now that harbors the coronavirus because it's a wet surface. It can hook right on up to that. You can walk it right into your house. So one of the things you may want to do is start leaving your shoes and leaving that can of Lysol by the door.
Yes. Okay, another question I would like to ask you all. Could a thermometer...
Distractions. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, read.
No, I just saying. I see Crystal and Gail are saying distractions. We're gonna get there too.
Yes.
We're gonna go to the distractions too.
Heck yeah.
Okay, another question. A thermometer scanner,
Thermometer.
yes. Could it
That's the selling in it, y'all.
do it detect the COVID-19?
Okay. Now, I think I know the answer to this one. Jessica, you still with us? Does a thermometer scanner detect COVID-19?
I think
It's a thermometer. It tells the temperature.
It just detects the fever.
I think until she gets a response, I think it's more like it detects the fever, and like she said, if you're symptomatic, then you might want to stay home anyway.
Right.
Okay.
But she said no.
Right.
All right. Yes. Thank you,
Because
Jessica.
some people might be thinking that because
We need
people
to
say
bring
if you
Jessica
go to
on.
work
We need
and
to
if
bring
you got a fever, you need to go home. You
pull
might
her
just
up
have a
and bring her
fever that day because something else could be wrong with you, and it don't even have to be COVID. But you're going home because you got the fever just to be safe, to keep everybody else safe, but it don't detect it. Yep. Okay. You said
It
something
only
else.
checks temps. Okay. I love it. I love it. We got a nurse on here with us. She's in our family, y'all. So we're glad that she's on with us tonight.
Yes.
One day we're going to bring her on so you could actually see her. But we're glad that she's here. Okay.
Something else that you were saying, Gail, and
Oh yes, distractions. Okay, now let's get to the distractions. Now, again, I'm not trying to go down the religious path. And if you have a different philosophy besides the religious path, make your comment below. Because
Yes.
we want to see what you got to say. Okay? But my thing is, the distraction could be in a number of ways. One, it could be because maybe Trump's got something up his sleeve. I'm just going to say it like it is. Maybe the government's got something else up their
Right.
sleeve. And again, and this is not to slight the medical field, but I think Big Pharma, for those of you that know what Big Pharma is, that's the pharmaceutical companies. I think they got some stuff up their sleeve. Listen, people get sick, and we need doctors,
Yeah.
and we need nurses. This is a fact.
Yes. Yes.
But let's also understand that even the doctors and nurses tell us that we can do certain things to help us not be as sick. Now, if everybody gets well, where's Big Pharma stand? I'm just saying.
Right.
So, and I've heard and seen some documentaries for what's that guy's name that comes on TV all the time with? Was it Fauci?
Yeah, Fauci.
Yeah, Fauci. Years ago,
yes.
about some stuff he was doing where people was discovering
HIV?
ways to cure certain diseases, and he was shutting it down. Now, for those of you that didn't know, and I need to pull that research back up. Okay, hold on. I got to see. All right. Okay, Hillary. I see you.
She got a fever now. She been gone.
Hillary says she feeling feverish because she go home. She must be at work. Okay, but you made me lose my train of thought, Hill. Okay, so anyway, I was saying something. So, but I'm not for the flapper. Okay,
Come on with it.
I'll get back to that.
If they don't have any people sick, then
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I was coming to a point. I missed it. But again, we're talking about distractions.
Yes.
So we got Trump, we got the government itself, we got Big Pharma, and I really feel like those that are in the medical field are getting the brunt of all of this because they can't really control anything.
Right.
They just have to go along with whatever the program is at the time. And then we've got the part of possible revelations and the Bible prophecies fulfilling themselves. So-
yes.
Y'all talk to me. Somebody tell me something.
Jessica just said something else.
Okay, Jessica.
Let's see what Jessica said.
Also, they can be inaccurate because if you are using anything other than an internal thermometer, then the environment can change the Yes.
Yeah.
The environment can change the temperature reading. Example, hot, cold drinks being hot in the car. Thank you.
Right,
So you gotta
right.
come on, y'all. You gotta think
Yes.
about these things.
Right.
You know, we so busy listening to CNN that we miss the truth of what plain old reality is. But you gotta stay on top of these things.
Right.
Travella, I believe Dr. Fauci is
Fauci.
Faulty Fauci. Y'all gonna have me cussing on the Tammy Talk Show, right? Is interested in getting paid from the vaccine more than anything. Yes,
Right.
I saw a documentary that said
We
that
did.
this man is just holding on to this thing until it may. You know what? If we gotta do a part 2, I'm coming back on.
Yes,
I should have
we
got
are.
the research. I have a video clip of them saying that
Come on with it.
that he was paying out people to basically strong arm them to put their feet on people's necks who had different exposures to why he's doing what he's doing, to cures and all of this stuff. Now, Fauci
I will not.
is already a millionaire a few times over, might even be a billionaire. I'm not sure. These are not facts, but I do know he is definitely in the millionaire status from the documentary that I saw, that they shut one of his scientific co-parts down because she exposed a lot of the stuff that he was doing, and she basically no longer has a life. They blackballed her. She was on talking about it. But yes, I do believe that.
Travella said she watched that too.
Okay, so you know exactly
You
what I'm talking
seen
about.
it, yeah.
And I should have pulled it up
Travella said she
tonight.
seen
Y'all
it,
forgive
too.
me for not having my research, but I was trying to vent tonight.
And Jessica, I agree with you. She
Okay.
said she would not take the vaccine.
Yes! Thank you, Jessica, for putting that in my head. So, I will not take the vaccine. How many people, again, I'm not trying to save you. I'm not trying to make you holy. But at the end of the day, those of us that have the Christian belief know that, now I was told that vaccine, I saw some documentaries that said that vaccine has a chip in
A
it
tracking chip.
Yes.
that can
So they
keep
can
up
know where
with
you are.
us, and they're using the excuse that the chip is so that we can see all the people who have already been vaccinated. That's a bunch of crap. I'm not getting vaccinated either. You're not putting nothing in me. If I got to grow my own corn behind the house and eat, that's what I'm going to do, because I think that's another ploy and another distraction.
Right.
If you disagree, let me know. We want to hear what you got to say.
Right.
If you agree, hit me up with some hearts.
And Jessica said, I think Fauci is part of the responsibility, being responsible for this vaccine.
Absolutely he is.
For the virus.
For the virus, yeah. And also, who's the guy that just stepped down
Come
from
on, Chip.
Microsoft?
Fauci.
Bill Gates?
Jessica.
Who just stepped down from Microsoft? Torres, help me. You're the IT guy. Was it Bill Gates?
Yes.
Stepped down from Microsoft to so-called help this whole situation? Don't be fooled by that.
Okay.
Don't be fooled by that.
Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead.
He will be a billionaire following COVID-19.
Right.
Trump is going to get the brunt of it. And let me say something else, too. I don't want to cut y'all up, but I'm on this soapbox. Trump is trying to act like he's the spokesman for the world. You better believe. Now, for those of you that have done history before, now let's go back before even COVID-19. Now, if you've done history or if you've done some research and you've watched the History Channel even, you will see on there that there's only about 5 families in the world that run the world.
Yep.
The Rockefellers
So
and a
rich.
couple of other people. If you think Trump got some power, he doesn't have power. He is just like a puppet with the rest of them. Do not be fooled by what Trump is doing, because he ain't up far up the chain to run nothing. Okay? Don't be fooled by him.
He's the person up front with the 5 people, family members that are behind him,
He says that
pushing the money.
It's Tyler Perry plug-in. He says that on the Oval. There's 5 families that runs the United States.
Wow.
Yes.
And that's the truth. They built the
5
railroads. They
families.
built the Con Edison and the electric company and all that. They run America and in turn run the world. They started this whole thing.
Right.
So,
Travella said she's not taking it either.
yes, Jessica, Chip, 5G. Thank you.
Right.
Did we miss anybody? I don't want to miss anybody.
But this
Who
is
had a
good
comment?
conversation. So, do you have something else you want to say to us?
Yes, but think about it like this: if the world was a business that somebody needed to invest in, in order for it to be able to function, get the supplies it needs, get the research it needs to be able to have recipes, or the research it needs in order to build certain things like tables and chairs and all of that stuff. If the people who are investing in that business say, okay, in order for me to give you the money you need in order to get all the resources you need,
Yeah.
I need you to say this,
Yes.
I need you to do this, I need you to refrain from saying this,
Right.
I need you to make sure that you stress this at this particular time during the month, because this is probably going to happen, then it would make sense that if those people who are powerful enough to invest in the world can control the narrative, or basically control the story that we hear,
Right.
then they can probably control all the things that
Exactly.
we also receive, all the resources we
Yeah,
receive.
yeah.
Like, for example, if school systems have to be given or told what kind of books they need in order for their, what do you call it, the curriculum?
Yes.
To be
Curriculum
complete
to be
or
complete,
accurate,
yes.
or on par with what's going on in
Yeah.
certain years.
Yeah.
Whoever's investing in those schools decides what books go in there and what books
That's
don't
true.
go in there.
Right.
Where's
So, like,
putting the
when
money
there are
at?
plenty of books, there's like this movie called The Freedom Writers. It talks about how this girl said, "Why is there not more black literature in schools?" And one of the ladies, the teachers, no, not the teacher, one of the girls, she said, it's probably because sex, drugs, and fornication, that's all up in the books and stuff. And she was saying that's what one of the teachers had said to her, and that's why they don't have black literature. So, if, for example, somebody who's investing into the school
Got the baby
decides
yellow.
that those type of things are not
Yes.
something to be seen or understood or to be read by children, then they can control whether or not those books will be in circulation.
So that's what this is doing.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just like that. So
That's
like
what-
information
that's what
about
I
like
do.
the civil right, not the civil rights movement, but like information about like
The COVID.
COVID, or like particularly an event in history where a man named Paul Revere
Mhm.
had to ride up and down the country to tell people that the British are coming. The British are coming. That same book that said that Paul Revere did it should have also told us there was a black man that ran the opposite direction
That's
that
right.
Paul Revere ran and told people the British are coming, the British are coming. We rode a horse, obviously.
Yes.
But like that same book that is withholding information that would make it beautiful to be able to understand that, wow, people of all different races have taken part in making sure or developing our history in America.
Yes.
You won't know that because the people who are investing in the schools are investing in the certain books,
Mhm.
that those books are having certain details and refraining from giving us information that we need in order for us to understand that as a country, there have been multiple inputs from all different ethnicities and not just one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Good
that-
point.
Good point. Good point there.
Good.
So we have another question. No, we have a comment here.
Okay.
But basically, what you were saying, that even with the COVID out there and the people that are running it, we really don't know what's really happening. They're only telling us what they want us to
What
know
they want us to know.
and what they
Right.
want us to feed off of. This is what the information that we're
Things are
getting.
part of the one world order.
But we're trying
Yes.
to open up a chat room and talking about, what we need to do and how we need to do, and listen to the nurses and listen to the doctors, because the nurses are in there
Right,
and
they
they're
see it
saying
every
that
day.
there's not a cure. So why is this disease existing and not a cure? But then they saying they're coming up with a vaccine. And then I saw right here where Jessica said that she thinks that this is part of the one world order
Yes.
that they're trying to come up with. And I know that's part of Revelation, the one world order. They're trying to get
Yeah.
things in order where, you're going to come subject to whatever we're going to do, and how we can be able to track you wherever you go, because we'll have a chip in you. But I tell anybody, if they're trying to make you take that vaccine, don't take it, because
Don't
we even
do
read
it.
some research on that where it said that a lot of people are going to take that vaccine, and there are a lot of people going to die off.
Right.
It's research that you can research and find out this information, and we're going to put it on. We're going to put it on here when we go off and show you all where you can look for it and find it at, if it's still out there, if they haven't erased it off of the information that we have gotten.
Right. So and then also at the end of, I missed that last part. That Gail was saying, isn't it funny how this distraction is coming during election time.
Yes.
So again, don't be distracted by that,
Right.
because Trump is going to do everything he can do to continue to get in order. He thinks that he can become a dictatorship. That's not going to happen. There will be a political governmental uprising before that happens. And I know, being a soldier, we've been taught to follow orders
Yeah.
and respect the chain of command. But let me tell you something. If something was like that, was going that far to the left, and I was still in position, I'd be ordering me and my troops and my soldiers, we're not doing that. We're
Right.
not going there.
Right.
There comes a point where you have to look at what's morally correct and start getting to the place where you're going to take that chance and live for what's right, as opposed to keep following what's going to the left, and you know it's going to the
Right,
left.
right.
So for those of you that think that might be happening, don't get that afraid, because there's too many soldiers out there, especially nowadays with this younger generation. They ain't going.
And Jessica raised a good point too. Yes, Jessica.
Okay.
That's
As
right.
Americans, we need to stick together. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I know there's a lot of division right now. That's how it happens. Stand for something or fall for, yes, or
Yes.
fall for everything. Don't be sheep. That's right.
Right.
That's right. I agree 100%.
Right.
Look at my shirt. It's probably backwards. If I can't help you, I won't hurt you.
Right. We need to stand together.
That's what it is, right
That's
there.
The truth.
And
We may have,
made that shirt.
yeah, tomorrow's Theodric Fashions. Go ahead. Were you going to say something, Therese?
Yes, I was gonna say that. Okay. I was gonna say that in reference to what she said about one world order. About 2 weeks ago, or about 3 weeks ago, there were a lot of people trying to do protests for Satanists. Like, Satanists were trying to get protests together in New York. There were about 5 in New York. There were like some in one in Arkansas, one in Rhode Island, and a few others in other locations where Satanists were going to like march and walk and be like, we're going to do this for the one world government and for the one world order, and we're trying to push this along like what the Bible and Revelations talks about. So like Satanists actually marched and like assembled together
Yeah, that's right.
3 Sundays ago to talk about this. I mean, not talk about this, but to talk about trying to get the one world
world
government,
solidarity,
and the one world order, and solidarity, and you know, people like if you go to the main page of the people who were hosting it, like it said, if you want to become a part of, they mentioned the name of a certain group of people that's mentioned on the back of a dollar bill. That talks about the little eye inside the pyramid. It said they said Illuminati. If you want to be a part of it, you can join it. We can give you such and such or X amount of money. You just have to pay a one price of something. And they mentioned the word. But you know, you can check on Facebook like just do march or protest for Satanists or Satanist march or protest, and you will see that those have occurred. People have done those. People attended those.
Right.
They existed. They happened.
Yes, and they're going on all over the world.
Right.
If you think that's not happening, you're
they happen
fooling
all over the
yourself.
world, yeah.
And guess what? Here's another thing. And we like Jessica was saying, we got to stick together. And we
together.
also have to be smart.
Right.
You got to be. And again, I'm not trying to preach tonight, but the scripture says you have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And you gotta be real smart with this thing.
Yes.
Okay? You gotta understand when stuff is coming to you from the left, and you gotta know how to counter it without letting them know you're countering it.
Come on.
Yes.
You've got to be smart enough to do that. You know, we're already divided in so many ways. We got COVID going on. We got the situation with all the police, corruption going on. We have Black Lives Matters marches.
Right.
Now we have a lot of other groups that are rising up and are saying, well, hey, we're a group too, and we matter. Okay, so I said this to say, don't be surprised and don't be distracted because the Satanists march. Guess what? It's sad, but our Constitution gives them the right to march.
Right.
That's okay, because I ain't scared.
Right.
I'm not scared of the devil. But you got to be smart enough to deal with them. Okay? And let me say this too. Since we're talking about the chips and we're talking about the New World Order, 2 things I want to throw at y'all here at Tammy Talks. I'm sorry, I just
We're
running my
talking,
mouth.
we're
All right?
talking.
Okay. One is prepare yourself for self-sustained survival.
Right. Right.
I know I'm sounding crazy right now, but hear me real good. stock up on your water, stock up on non-perishables, stock up on blankets, stock up on radios that are battery operated so you can hear what's going on, stock up on batteries for flashlights, if I didn't say that already. Listen, and I'm going to put this out there, and I know this is going to mess a lot of people up. Make sure you have something you can protect yourself with.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, when it gets bad, and my mom always said one thing to me. She used to always tell me, son, expect the worst and hope for the best.
Right.
So especially when you're dealing with this, you have to have a mindset to prepare yourself to defend your home.
Right.
Because what happens if this goes all the way to the left? This chip thing starts, or let's just say Corona kicks in so bad that they're telling everybody they can't go out, they can't do this, they can't do that.
Right.
You're going to start having looting happening. It's only a matter of time now before all of a sudden this government money that they're giving out for unemployment and all this runs out.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then the economy is going to be an issue. I mean, I'm not going to go down the racial thing, black, white, and this and that, but let's be honest. The economical issue is a huge issue in the black community because we don't have the jobs that others have. So what happens? We turn to survival. Guess what? COVID doesn't have a color to it. So prepare yourselves. Again, I'm not saying this to sound racial. Certainly those of you that know me know that can't happen. If I just hold my granddaughter up, we'll clear up that myth right now. But the point is, you have to protect yourself.
Yes.
You have got to prepare for your family because anybody will come through that door if they're desperate enough to come and attack who you are and what you have. I'm not promoting violence and all that. I'm not a violent man, but I am a war veteran. And I know how to get violent. And I know how to go to war. So prepare yourself for those things. We don't know what's going to happen. So what? If you get all of it and you don't need it, then what happens? You just use it. Or you have it. The other thing is, look out for Bitcoin. For those of you that don't know what Bitcoin is, look that up. We're not going to go down that Bitcoin road tonight.
Right.
But look up Bitcoin because that's another something that's I think is part of that new world order that Jessica was talking about.
Right. And then Jessica said, honestly, she thinks that the whole government need a do-over.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the parties, all
absolutely.
of them need a do-over. I agree with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I agree too.
Yes.
We are a family that believes in voting because, our forefathers have fought for the right for us to vote. So we believe in voting. We believe in, and I know this is going to make some people mad, but guess what? That's why social media is social media.
Yeah.
Because we like to make people angry, and that keeps you watching. I'm going to make you famous one way or the other. Some people say we've got our forefathers fought for the right for us to not vote if we don't want to vote. I know people don't want to hear that, but that is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So either way, you have the choice. And so I'm saying that to say, if you're voting and doing whatever you're doing, make sure that you're taking care of yourself. No matter which way you vote or how you, just like she said, the whole government needs to be changed. The government is the biggest gang in the world. Are you kidding me? I mean, there's so many. We got to have a million other topics on Tammy Talk because I want to get into the drug cartel too. They probably come to the house now after this, right? I mean, come on. We know good and well that we not flying no planes to Nicaragua and bringing drugs back over. Somebody letting it in, and guess what? We too far down the chain, white and black. So it ain't nobody but the government turning a blind eye and letting stuff happen. Let's start acting like we know people.
Yeah, come on.
Yes, and like Jessica was saying also, she said, is the government supposed to be for the people?
That's right.
And then, but it's the government is like the government is for itself.
And over the people.
And over the people, running us, telling us what we need to do. So that is true.
Come
also.
on, Mama.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. You're absolutely right, Jessica. Now, see, I feel like this, okay? Like I said, we stress that with our children, with our family. But I'm going to be honest with you. I've always told people this, and hey, you don't got to like me. It doesn't matter. As long as Jesus loved me, this I know. For the Bible tells me so.
All right.
Okay? So, I feel like I'm so far down the line. I'm not saying I don't vote, because I do put my vote in. But I feel like I'm so far down the line that whether it's Democrat, Republican, Independent, or whoever else is in office, it doesn't affect change in my world. Personally. Now, maybe throughout America, yes. But honestly, I'm still broke, busted, and disgusted. I don't care which president come in. I still have to go out and bust my tail to work and to get something. Doesn't matter which president is in or which president is out.
Right.
And honestly, I have had both sides of the political coin do something for me. When I was in Iraq, Bush 1 was in office. I was in the worst unit, one of the worst units. The Republican guards were after us, and we had been there for so long. And Bush said, "I'm getting the 24th out of here in 2 weeks." In 2 weeks, I was back home. Yeah. Thank you, George Bush. I don't care if he's Republican. I don't care what he is.
Right.
He got me back home out of Iraq, out of that desert. So that year, that was my dude. And no, I didn't vote for him, but he became my dude. Okay? So, hey. That was one of the very few things that affected me.
Right.
When Barack Obama got into office, a million people don't like him. Okay? Guess what? He raised children being on your insurance to 26. Bam! That was the biggest thing in the world for me. Because my kids didn't have insurance. Right. That's just me. So, but the truth of the matter is, yes, Jessica, the whole governmental system is corrupt. We've got to be able to take care of ourselves. We got to be able to stick together. And we got to learn how to love and help each other.
Right. And in order to change the system too, though, we do have to vote.
Hey, Mama.
And we have to vote at the lower level in our local branches if we want to see some changes. And then it'll go all the way up to the top. But we got to start locally. So I do want people to really do that, to vote for change. And we are in 2020, and different things are going to happen. 2020 came on with a bang. It scared a lot of us, the way it started out in March and how we're still dealing with the same thing. And here it is, July. And we're still dealing with that same virus that have taken over America. But you know what we got to do? We got to look up, do our research, read the facts, and we need to be careful so that the spread won't spread even wider. And we need to hope that our officials that are over us will look at the circumstances of how things are being done now and how the rise of this COVID is going up. We need for them to look and take a good look and say, okay, it's time for us to regroup. If we got to send people back home and close in so we can shut this thing down, they need to do that.
Right, absolutely.
But how do we get them to do that? And how do you think they're going to do that? Do you think they're going to do that? Go ahead. You was getting ready to say something. Come on with it.
She beat me up. I'm laughing at our granddaughter. Okay. We definitely have a TAMMY talk in the house. It's COVID, all right? I'm just looking at some comments from Jeanette Clark. She said, people have told us that we have to stock up back in the day. Absolutely right, they had. And she also was saying, okay, about the Freemasonry. That's a whole nother issue going on. Freemasonry and how there is folk that already feel like they know who the president is going to be. Listen, there's a part of me, thank you, Jeanette. There's a part of me that believes they absolutely know who's going to be in office when they're in office and before they get in office. If you ever seen the movie White House Down, Jamie Foxx is the president in that movie. And the White House is attacked. White House Down came out before Barack Obama got in office. And I'm telling you, if he wasn't sounding and talking like Barack Obama in White House Down, I will pay you. Right. They were basically telling us what was going on. So don't be fooled by all this. The government knows exactly what they're trying to do. They put everybody in office when they want to put them in office. Let's be honest. Everybody in the world knew Hillary Clinton was going to be the president all the way up to what, 2 minutes before the election was over? Then all of a sudden, here come Trump with a million. Come on, y'all. Come on.
Right.
So come on now. We can't be duped by the dumbness. Even if it was reversed. I'm not even talking about the political side of it, Republican or Democrat. The fact of the matter is, everybody in the world, even Hillary had a look on her face like, this is not happening right now. Come on, y'all. Talk to me.
Okay, read. We have another one. We have another writing on here.
Okay. So, Lakeisha, okay, I believe we need to educate ourselves more. Yes, amen. So that when people come to you trying to persuade you on what you should and you should not do pertaining to the virus, you can come back with an educated answer. Absolutely. Don't fall for it. Too many times we focus on what the news outlets have to tell us instead of researching the information. Yes. Silence is not the answer. We need to build our own platform. Yes. Come together and know what's really going on in the world. Yes. Thank you, Lakeisha. All right, now listen. We're going to have to grab Lakeisha, Jessica, Jeanette, all these people. Y'all need to come on Tammy Talk so we can keep this going. Let's see what else we got happening here. I definitely believe, this is Sharita Crawford. I definitely believe that the virus has been prophesied and we are living through it. Absolutely. Mama Crawford says she want to come live with us. Come on, Mama.
Yes.
Huh?
Live.
Oh, she want to come on live? Oh, okay. She's White House Down, good movie. Yes, very good movie. Let me see what else we got here. There was one I wanted to. Lakeisha, Jessica. She says she's more of a constitutionalist. I want to live by the Constitution. Absolutely.
Yes.
I don't agree with abortion or high taxes for the government that takes a vacation during the tough times. Exactly. I want to keep my guns. Me too.
Me too.
Trust me. I'm not going to say what we just did today, but yes, I agree.
Yes.
We need to get back to our roots. Yes. Stop worrying about being. Yes. Stop worrying about being politically correct.
Yes, for real.
The president he don't even talk
can't even
respectfully,
speak
so
good
why do he
grammar.
even have to care about what we say? Because he doesn't.
Who did I miss?
Clearly don't care.
Dramatic structure.
Yes, they're acting out TV programs that's going to happen in the future. Yes,
Yes.
Jeanette, that's exactly what they're doing.
So true.
Who did I miss? Wickednesses in high places. Yep.
One
Who
thing
else we got
that
here?
concerns me is now this is a government affiliated website. This is .org on the end. So it says centerforhealthsecurity.org, event 201, a pandemic exercise.
Yes.
The Johns Hopkins Center for Health Security, in partnership with the World Economic Forum and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, hosted event 201, a high-level pandemic exercise on October 18, 2019, in New York, New York. The exercise illustrated areas where public and private partnerships will be necessary during the response to a severe pandemic in order to diminish large-scale economic and societal consequences.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, like, they did an exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know exactly when coronavirus became, like, repugnant and everybody knew it was out and it was just, it was well known. February, I guess, from what we heard. But, like, for there to be an exercise done by a world organization before this happened, to see what would happen if a pandemic went through and swept through the entire world.
Wow.
That's kind of fishy. And the website is still here. And it's a government-affiliated website, so they could take down the page, but it's a website. centerforhealthsecurity.org, event 201.
Yes, Jessica.
Just look it up. Look it up and you will find it. That don't make cat sense to me, as my grandma would say.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me at all.
No, it don't. It's like it was planned.
Yes, that's
So we're
what
going to do
Jessica
an
just said.
exercise of it first. Yes. So.
She said, exercise my butt. They planted the virus. They planted it back in 2019. And don't listen. Don't think they don't know. Yes, Lakeisha, they know what's going on. Let me tell y'all
Upper
something.
respiratory infection.
Go ahead.
An upper respiratory infection or upper respiratory disease started in November.
It started in
people were
November.
feeling
Yes,
upper
we all,
respiratory
the whole house
infections
went
and
through
stuff.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
So the symptoms of what would be coronavirus.
Right.
If
it
you
was
think,
showing up.
if you think the government don't know what's going on,
Right.
they know what's going on. I'll tell you really quick. About 3 months before Desert Shield and Desert Storm, and before Saddam, we call him insane. Saddam Hussein invaded Iraq.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of units that went to Fort Bragg for training, for desert training
All right.
across overseas. Now they went to this training at a last minute notice. They grabbed some volunteers and they were gone. And as I'm telling you, it wasn't a week before they came back when they told me, pack your bags, you're going to Iraq. So they know exactly what's happening. Don't be fooled to think that the government don't know what's going on. And I will tell you this too. If you think that, and listen, I'm not saying that CNN or anybody else is not credible, but they don't get all of the information.
Right.
They don't get it all, y'all.
Yep.
If you really think that the news
It's telling
like,
us everything.
Desert Shield, Desert Storm was one of the first really broadcasted wars in real time.
Right.
Now, if you think that they are going to pinpoint and tell you exactly what's going on, when it's going on, does that really make any sense, y'all? If CNN got it, don't you think Saddam is sitting in his bunker watching CNN? They told you all that the war was going to start at a certain time. They put that out. It was going to start sometime in the evening. Let me tell you something. I was cutting a soldier's hair at about 11:30 a.m. and at 12 o'clock, my lieutenant came through 12 noon and said, pack up, we're going in right now. We was already miles and miles and miles into Iraq before CNN television even started airing it. So if you think CNN has all the answers, they do not.
It's darkening out.
Uh-oh.
Read that what Mom Prophet said.
I know, sick in December. She's sick.
What Mom Prophet said.
Okay. I read. Yeah, she read that Trump signed for money in September.
Yeah.
Very possible. I have a
virus, yeah.
Wow. About
Wow.
what?
The stimulus check was
Stimulus
signed.
check.
Into,
The
Okay.
stimulus check was signed.
That's what came out.
September 2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
and then Jessica.
Okay, Jessica, you reading that one, Terry?
Go ahead.
Yeah, she said that I have a friend that was sick in December. She was sick for about 3 weeks. No flu, strep, etc. A couple of weeks ago, she had the antibody test, and she had, in fact, had the virus.
Wow. See?
Wow. Oh.
Painful, nobody.
People, we
That
just
Wow.
gotta be
John
careful.
Hopkins event.
Yeah.
We gotta be
201
smart.
Pandemic
Yeah.
exercise.
They started it back then.
They
We gotta
started
be-
back
yeah.
then.
Yeah, they do what they want when they want.
They tested
Spread
it.
it too fast.
Yeah.
And she already had it.
And I will tell you this as well, and also you can look this up in history. I believe it's Socrates talked about this, how basically the hierarchy of our worlds has to make sure that they control the population. Look that up.
Look
Google
it
that.
up. Yes.
So every so often they'll create something that's going to destroy masses of the population. Now, one thing I do know is that one of the reasons why, besides the fact that Bush had investments in oil in Iraq, we're not even going to go there, he started that war because he felt like it was going to eliminate X amount of troops.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons why he started that war. He was trying to downsize the military. This is a fact. You can reference it, because what happened was, when we got over there, it went completely the opposite way, and we annihilated them. So now, what am I going to do? When we got back, and don't get me wrong, I still love him because he got me home. But the fact remains that he was trying to kill a lot of us off. Immediately after that, he downsized the military. They put new rules and regulations in. If you were E5 after a certain amount of years, you got kicked out. And on and on and on, because they were trying to downsize it. And then, when Somalia and Bosnia and Iraq kicked back up, and then Afghanistan, all of a sudden now they're doing this mass recruiting of people again. They do everything for their own agenda, y'all. Don't think that there's something different going on here.
Right. That is so true. Even back in December, I also had a respiratory infection. I went to the doctor. When I went to the emergency room, they told me that I had a respiratory infection. I said, I never heard of that. I was sick for like 3 to 4 weeks. I couldn't talk. My voice had left. I couldn't taste nothing. None of that stuff. So when this did come out, I told my daughter, because she had got sick also. And the baby did too. So I said, I already had this, what they're talking about coming about now. So, you know, I know they had planned this stuff in the beginning, but we must stay vigilant.
Yes.
We have to stay vigilant, and we have to stay, you know, stay in touch with one another. Like Jessica was saying, we got to band together. It's no time for us to
Gather
be
information
divided.
from each
We
other.
have to come together. And that's one reason why I wanted to do this tonight on the Tammy Talk Show. I wanted people to get some information. I wanted you all to just come to, you know, hear somebody that's talking the same conversation that you're having in your house, or what you're thinking, to know that you're not in this by yourself. You're not thinking this by yourself. We all are thinking this, and we're trying to say what is going on. We're trying to figure this thing out, and we're going to figure it out together, because we are in America. We are free people, and we want to stay free. We want to keep it that way. But if we can't, we still going to band together, and we're going to be a one group of people, not a divided nation. Not how people are trying to divide us. We need to stand together. And if there are any more conversations on here that you all want to read?
Yes, I want to.
Okay, go ahead.
There's a couple more. And Jessica says, get news from other outlets. Very good.
Yeah.
YouTube has a lot of sources.
Yeah.
You listen to InfoWars a lot. Granted, it's gloom and doom, but look at where we are.
Yeah.
Great point. Get the antibody test, Jessica says also.
Yes.
Lakeisha, just think about it. An exercise is a process activity carried out for a specific purpose.
Yeah.
Especially one concerned with a specific area or skill. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if the government is doing an exercise for the virus, they are preparing for what's going on. That's just like if we're exercising for basketball practices, because we're preparing for the game. So if the government is exercising for a pandemic, then that's what's happening.
Yeah.
She said, "Don't get me started. Get started. Get started, Lakeisha."
Yes. Hello, Mary. Hello.
Hey.
Yes.
Hey, Mary.
Okay, so what's funny to me is that the plague that I believe swept through Europe happened in 1720. In 1820 there was a cholera outbreak. In 1920 there was a Spanish flu.
Come on now.
So now all of a sudden 2020 is coronavirus.
There it is.
So
Oh.
I mean, and I'm pretty sure like there were people who were even during the 1700s. It's kind of hard to like judge that maybe that somebody planned that, but even still, like during that time period, people were testing or trying to figure out how they could treat the plague. Like they were popping the pimples or the sores that would appear on people's bodies, and like, you know, heating it up in like pig fat and stuff, and trying to see if they would be able to make a vaccine from it back then. So I guess I'm kind of gonna say that to kind of branch off into some of the research I did, like about how microbiology, and how you were talking about earlier. They had said if somebody is just walking around and just doing regular things, they have to stay 6 feet apart. But if somebody is exercising and running around, it's okay for them to get like maybe 3 feet apart from each
3
other.
feet, yeah.
But when it comes down to like microbiology, something I looked up at the American Society for Microbiology, Dr. Monika Bukzek, she completed her doctoral research in molecular, cellular, and developmental biology,
Yes.
and now works in translational cancer research. So something she said was, whether you are on a public beach or on a deserted island, you are sharing your space with billions of microbes. One study found that more bacteria per gram of sand than people in Manhattan. So like a gram of sand has like more bacteria on it than there would be in people in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And it contains a wide variety of microbes, and you know, a beach contains a wide variety of microbes and people. Some helpful and unassuming, some are bad, and some can be terrifying. But one thing she pointed out was that like microbes, or the things that are on beaches, some of these are called recyclers or caretakers, and they maintain the health of waters. There is a difference in effects based on which beach water you choose, freshwater or saltwater. In a 2016 study by Staley and a few other authors, freshwater beaches tend to have more actinobacteria, gram-positive bacteria that perform several beneficial roles. So they have like bacteria in that water that is good for like the water and for people. Like this bacteria is used to clean the beaches by decomposing organic matter on land and water. Kind of like how on land we have vultures and we have ravens that come and like eat and like devour like corpses and bodies, and then like on land we also have things that help the body decompose and stuff. Like the water, like salt water has that, and fresh water has that, so that it cleans the beaches that people actually go and lay and have family vacations and stuff on. Right. So imagine if that got on your skin, it would help to clean like anything that might be dirtier on you. And the concept of microbiology in general is kind of like the study of how like your immune system is going to interact with like germs and stuff. So basically, when your body kind of wants, that's why children kind of like put stuff in their mouth and they touch a whole bunch of things, because their body is basically making them expose themselves to stuff, so that the body can be like, okay, y'all see that bacteria right there? Write that down, write that down. Make sure that when she touches that next time, we send like 100 white blood cells to attack that, because that's dangerous. We need that gone like yesterday. Like, your body is doing that stuff. Your body is doing research on all the things that are harmful to you and all the things that are beneficial to you.
Wow.
So the purpose of like wearing the mask is to like limit it getting inside of you. But one thing that is beneficial about what's going on and how us getting out of the house and not staying inside and kind of like basically like just not twinging up and like you gotta give your body the opportunity to fight and like train itself. Right. It's like exercise. If you don't exercise for a while, your muscles are going to start to get smaller. That's why people in nursing homes and stuff, we have to turn them over and flip them, and like so they don't get bed sores for one, but their muscles atrophy, their muscles get smaller and stuff, so they start getting smaller and skinnier. Like so your body needs to be able to introduce itself to that, so that it can like she said, the immune response, so that it can train itself how to fight against bacteria and viruses.
Yes,
very good.
Very good. Very good.
Right. Yes, she was. As you were talking, Jessica was co-signing, so that's very good.
Right.
Maybe we can get him into the medical field. We've been trying to tell him to do that, but we'll see what happens.
Right.
All right. Being exposed isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's what she was saying.
Right.
Herd immunity is how we protect ourselves when there is no vaccine. You get that from exposure. If you continue to wear a mask, you also decrease your immunity to other common illnesses. So we've got some great information tonight, you guys. And one more time, if you hate Corona, comment at the bottom. I hate Corona. Let me see the heart.
Right.
Fill it up. Let's go, baby. I want to see it.
Yes, fill it up for us. We have enjoyed talking with you all on tonight. We would like for you all to like and share the conversation, please. Like it and share. And we want you all to come back with us, but we will be continuing the conversation. I tell you all, I really enjoyed the conversation tonight. I really enjoyed the interaction with the audience, the people that was listening and watching. Yes. I thank you for participating. I thank you for your opinion. I thank you for your questions. I thank you for your comments, because they really were beautiful and I'm very excited to see. So I hope you all tune in with us next time, because we want to enjoy and share more information. I want to thank Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
On, talking with us on tonight. I thank everybody that came on. I may not call you by names right now because I can't look down at the list, but I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for the questions. I thank you for the comments. And I want you to tune in with us next time as we come back to continue the conversation. We might come back on Sunday to continue this conversation and see if we can add more to the conversation. But we love you and we thank you and thank
you
you
too.
so much for
Yes.
watching the Tammy Talk Show.
Like the page.
From my
Woo!
heart, like the page. From
Lulu,
my heart to your
Jeanette.
heart. I love you much. Till
Lakeisha.
next
Now you
time.
got me calling you Lakeisha. Like, Lulu, I didn't know that was you.
Until
I'ma
next
get you.
time. Until
Travella,
next time. Love
yes.
you much.
Yes.
Love you much. Love
Jeanette,
you much.
You're
Love
welcome.
you much.
Thank you all for stopping
See y'all
by.
next
Love
time.
y'all.
Tammy Talks next Thursday. Tune in. Sunday.
Sunday.
6:30.
Sunday at
Tune in.
6:30. Love you.